stuff. So like,
Just trying to mind the game. Anyways, so this game to me is a good example why cheating in chess, as unbelievable as it may seem to some or whatever, it's just not. It's not one. It's not good for the game, and two, it's actually one of the most counterintuitive things to do. Now they do say I blundered, but you're gonna see my one blunder literally opens up the position. But it's all about in this game. So I play London, right? London system. Um, and well, I played I played London basically, but he did his own thing. So and again, my rating's only 209 or 235. He's 209. Actually, at this time, I think I was more in like two teens, so it was probably like 216, something like that. Um, but yeah, standard opening stuff until this, right? Not sure why he gives away a pawn, but this leads into my point because here you see the computer is already saying I'm plus two, right? Being up a pawn is actually huge in chess, and this position is actually pretty good. I got pressure on this and my knight is defending this, so it's not really much to worry about. But he is going to play here, which is good. It kicks it out. Now like I said, it even though it's counterintuitive, people it's a cheating. It's something you're not supposed to do. You're not supposed to look at the engine, because they're saying, well, you see, this is kind of my point too, because like they're saying block this, and it's not even really a pin, because it's just this pawn. Like it's nothing to really worry about. So like here's probably actually a better move, but my, you know, to keep going on my point, it's saying bishop h4, which is actually better because you still get the pressure. I didn't play this move. I ended up playing this, and then we kind of get into a fight and whatever. Um, but it's still cheating, right? When you're listening to these computers, when you see, when you look at a computer, you're saying, okay, this is the move to make. I'm gonna make this move. But again, the problem with it, and we're gonna skip a little ahead. So here, and again, I'm playing. Most of this is to gear up for not E3, which what they're saying is actually to gear up for E4, right? Because you'll see, we keep going. He's really trying to. He's almost trying to make a draw. I don't know if it's deliberate or not, but that is kind of where it's heading. But the thing is, he's down a pawn, so it's like you're not really going to be able to make a draw because at some point, which is what I do. Oh, I thought that was the next move. Sorry. Um, yeah, well, I wanted to get my bishop out there saying it's an accuracy for whatever reason. I'm not really sure, but again, computer is computer, so they want the draw for real, for real. Anyways, oh wait, I don't even know why I didn't play. Honestly, I probably like should have just played this move quicker. If I could go back and decide what to do, I would play that move quicker. But yeah, get the rook involved. Principal chess so far, and they're saying I've lost the advantage. Hilarious, by the way. His position is pretty much equal, which is an advantage for black. But again, we have to remember black is down a pawn, and that is the problem. And it will be, and they say it's a blunder because of this, right? For one, he doesn't take. For two, there's like so many pieces defending that square. We can get into a big counting exercise, but regardless, I just opened my rook too. You see what I'm saying? Which is really my whole plan, and I'm fine with it because now the pawn count is equal. So this move right here, this specific move, which honestly I probably could have played, like I could have played it just here. After bishop beat h3, I could have just played it. Or no, sorry, bishop h3. I could have played e4. Sorry, e4. And honestly, in chess, at the beginner level, if you're not a perfectionist like me and want to have opening knowledge and all of that before you really get into the game, um, the principle is to just put your pawn in the center. Put as many pawns in the center as possible. So I honestly could have played this like move two, whatever. But that's all, you know, relative to the observer. Anywho, um, but yeah. So the weird thing about this, oh well, yeah, let me go back to the actual game. The weird thing about this is he doesn't take. He completely just says, I don't want to equal the pawn count. For what reason? Not sure. But he plays that. Yes, that was his next move. He plays e5. And you see the valuation shoots way up. It kind of helps my point because again, you know, you could take knight, whatever. They don't like that. They are not a fan of that, whatever. Here, whatever. Point is, when you're up against an opponent, you have to, or when you're playing chess, you have to understand the position and what could at least help break it open if you want to like win. Now, as black, you're probably trying to make a draw, especially at the highest level. You're just going to try to make a draw because, simply put, white gets to go first. So there's not much you can do other than try to make a draw until they blunder, which is, they would say, right here's a blunder, but it really isn't because there will be nothing to worry about. Even with this, like it doesn't really matter. It's not a big deal because I mean, again, you don't necessarily have to get into a big trading contest. You could just leave it there and gear up with like other moves. You know what I mean? So it was, but again, the whole point was to open the rook. That was my point in that move. And they'll say it's a blunder and whatever. And it, again, you have to understand the pawn count and everything. It's a positional game. That's just how chess works. It's a positional game, and you have to make certain moves. And again, if they take, you could also just play something like here. You know what I mean? So like now there really is nothing going on. There's really nothing doing, and moves like here. Well, no, not there, but like you can get other pieces involved into an attack, and it's not really good for black. But again, computer was not a fan of the move. So me personally, I think it's counterintuitive. But to continue, he completely misses it. So obviously, then here when you miss moves like this, where your opponent misses moves like this, and again, my plan was to open a rook. I definitely take. Now, this is probably not as good. They for whatever reason they like that better. Whatever. But yeah, tax the knight, all that. And then this happens, but now we have this, and again we've just pinned the queen again. So it justifies this move, from here to here. You see what I'm saying? From there to there. It justifies that move, and it also imbalances the position to such degree. There's now the absolutely brutal queen x5 check, or queen f5 check, sorry. And the king, well, he blocks. I don't know. Yeah. And, like I said, it's still cheating to use the computer, but the computer wants to draw. So they're going to try to make a draw. And yeah, here the position is completely exploded. And not only does black not have an attack, they're just simply on the defense. They're on the defense down, I believe it's Yeah, I can't. I'm sorry. Give me a sec. They're down two pawns and now a knight, but they get the knight back. I think. I think they can take somewhere, right? Oh no, they don't. They can't actually. Sorry. Um, I played this game earlier today, and you know things have happened, so my analysis isn't sound. Anyways, but now two knights in the center. Nothing's really stopping this pawn from going, because all of the rook has to move, and soon the queen is going to have to move. So yeah, from here it's just a pretty much a storm. It's a storm. This is a forced queen trade, which is actually winning because now your rook is hanging. But I don't think I play this move. Oh no, I take with the bishop, which is even more brutal because now you can't take. I actually, and you see again here, it's saying knight take with the knight is better because you're attacking a rook and all of that. But problem with it is it's not a check. So now you know what I'm saying when you put the opponent in check, it it allows it's so forcing that you have the agency. It's it's like it's almost like white keeping its turn essentially in the purest form. And that's why I give another check. And you always want to look for that again in chess. The most forcing moves. These were now I ain't gonna lie. I've kind of fucked up for a couple moves because that loses a knight. But this is good because they can't take. That's another thing about giving checks. You want to make sure that you cannot be taken. Because when you're in check, well, when the king is in check, you know, in theory, the easiest thing for the king to do when they're in check is just to take the piece, if they can. But if they see they can't see, it's giving me an error every time because the knight is defending. But if they can't, now they're on the run, and now you have agency to either give another check, which will be bad because you know. But the point being is, move is so forcing. The move, and when you make sure your piece is protected, too, it's pretty much game over. And also stuff like that. Once you're and another principle. Once you're here, you're in. Like at this point, you're in. You could play rook e1. You could threatening that mate or whatever. You can. It's not a mate actually. Sorry. You can, like I did, take the free pawn. To simplify. Another principle of chess: simplification is a good thing. Which is why the compute people think using a computer is cool because that's what the computer is gonna make. It's gonna make it to where, like, let's just say we allowed the computer to finish this game out. Right? Where is it? Where F F6. It's saying bishop F6. So I say here, tax the rook. Now rook goes to H7. You see, it's already starting to. Yeah, from here. Oh, sorry, but from here, it's already starting to like slowly dwindle down the advantage. And then you'll get rook H8, and then you'll. What's that? Oh, I think it's asking to repeat moves actually. Let me see. Yeah. Well, that's not a repeat. No, it's not a repeat, but it gets to the point where you start shuffling pieces and you're getting to a draw essentially. So my point, sorry, is that then I got too far ahead of myself. But my point is in chess, the computer is not going to lead you to a win unless you're playing a player that you maybe could have beaten, or um, they're much worse. Or they know you're cheating and they kind of just say, fuck it. And, maybe cheat themselves or whatever. Right? So it's just a counterintuitive thing to do. The computer is not going to really give you the best move because the computer is lacking in the positional knowledge. And by positional knowledge, that means what move will lead to a move in which I can possibly checkmate my opponent. It says M and 8 on the evaluation. But it's really more like, considering he's a 209, no respect to this guy, it's actually a pretty good game. It's more like mate in like 3 because, he probably would hang it, which I think you would hang it with this. Oh no, that's force. That's force. But you would probably hang it with something like, well, that's mate. Well, that's mate too. Oh well, that's literally the only legal move in this position. But you know, eventually you'll do something like uh, doubling your rook on this file, you know, and he may do this, which would prolong the game, or even this, which will also prolong the game. But this is the it's actually giving us the mate now. It's actually saying what you can do, but you don't want to do that and all of that. But it's all forced. All of that was forced. Um, and yeah, you didn't learn anything from my rambling. Don't use the computer to cheat in chess because you're gonna either make a draw or you may win, but you're gonna always fail to realize that they were probably bad enough to just lose to you. Seriously. So yeah, because oh wow, this is actually just a very brutal position because I'm trying to think of ways I can like hang mate, but it's all like force. Like it's like there's no saving this position for black. It's really bad. Anywho, I hope you learned something. Get out of here.